Recording. It's January the 5th, 2016. I'm Dana Durnford, also known as TheNuclearProctologist.org, and you can find these live streams at livestream.com 6 days a week, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Canada time, British Columbia time, Standard Time, whatever we would like to choose to call it. And so there's your data for that one. And so pre-Fukushima studies in Canada. Hi everybody, by the way. Hi Gil. Hi Terry Ann. I know people weren't expecting a stream, and I really didn't think anybody was going to show up, but I wanted to put up a short stream anyway. We don't want to miss a day if we can find a way to get out a stream. And so sometimes you have to do it at odd times, unfortunately. So pre-Fukushima studies. Pre-Fukushima studies are showing around 8 becquerels a cubic meter in your water. That's your drinking water. In Canada now we have 7,000 becquerels, which is 7 million. So we went from 8 becquerels a cubic meter, 8 becquerels a cubic meter to, I'll bring that up for everybody. Oh, I wasn't switched over. So you see the tritium, that's man-made. The strontium's man-made. The iodine's man-made. Strontium Mike's not man-made. Okay, strontium Mike's man-made. Hi everybody. And so we really gotta hold these people accountable for pulling this graft off their website and not telling anybody why they pulled it off and why they modified it and put it back up somewhere else. This we pay for that government. They work for us. We do not work for them. Their job is not to go playing hide-go-seeky and popping stuff up and taking it down, because we went from 8 becquerels, man-made isotopes, cancer-causing isotopes, all the way up to 7 million becquerels in the same square cubic meter. This is not open for discussion. We need answers. We want these people to tell us what they're doing. We want to tell them why they done that. We want to tell them why. Tell the Canadians why. Are we looking at 7 million becquerels in our hot tubs? Why are our children who went from taking 8 becquerels from radioactive fallout from the 60s, 70s, and 80s to all of a sudden they're claiming now that 7 million becquerels, because they figure you're too stupid to do anything about it. You're too afraid to open your mouth and say something, and that you don't have the ability. But you actually do. You have the power. You have that ability, and you have that onus is put on you. You are obligated. It is your obligation under your Bill of Rights in Canada, under the Magna Cartas in UK, and the constitutions of America, for the Americans to stand up and hold their government accountable. That's the idea of being a solvent citizen, is you keep an eye on the system, and you have to go deal with all the nonsense and all the bullies, but you try to hold these people accountable, because there's nobody else. They're not going to hold themselves accountable. They won't fire themselves. Nobody else is going to fire them. They're stealing everything you got, and now they're poisoning you and your loved ones. And just to put it into context, let's look at some of these studies coming up. And I'll bring that over there, so who knows, maybe got something else. You think about all the studies on just tritium. We're not talking about just tritium. We're talking about americium, neptunium, plutonium. These are all man-made. Everything is man-made that's coming from the reactors. This is not like we threw in bananas and got back bananas with radiation. This is, we threw in uranium and plutonium. We chemically enhanced it and purified it. We took 400 train car loads of coal to make a gram. A gram is the size of a dime. We wrecked mountains to get a pound. We tore up entire nations to get enough to fuel a small city. We wrecked everything. We used an enormous amount of water and chemicals just to, you know how to get gold, you use all the mercury. Well, you have no idea what they're using for uranium, but trust me, if mercury was all we had to worry about, we'd be in good shape. And so we have a system now that snuck out. I'll fix that for everybody. I'll move my screen over a little bit. Maybe. Maybe not. Who knows with me. I'm going to clickety, clickety, clickety till I clicked. So I just said clicked, right? Yeah? But anyway, we've got so many studies. Why do they have radiation protection for tritium instrumentations and monitoring methods? Why do they have studies on that? Because, because they don't want to get their own to get injured or get cancers. Now, there's 1,800 autoimmune deficiencies that show up before cancers. Alzheimer's, dementia. You pass autism on to your children. There's diabetes. There's heart, liver, lung, respiratory, pituitary, brain, breast cancers. We know that children 20% more likely to get leukemias within 50 miles of a nuclear power plant. We know women are 6 times more likely to get breast cancer if they lived or drove past a nuclear power plant. The studies are just endless on how bad this stuff is. And we're going to blast you a bunch here tonight for something to do. Detection of tritium and alpha decaying radionuclides by measurements of helium isotopes. But you can figure out how much tritium is in somebody really simple. They got all the techniques all the way back 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. All the studies you're looking at are pre-Fukushima studies. And so they're not prejudiced or biased, we hope. They didn't go in and change anything after Fukushima. And do not put that above them. Do not think for a second they won't do this or they won't do that to you. Don't think they wouldn't. Tritium measurements used in ionization chambers. So they know all about it. And that's, 24 people learned about that. They downloaded it. Look, see the downloads? This one here is 2010. That's the one we're just looking at. And I'm not trying to go into detail here tonight, this evening, this afternoon. Tritium activity concentration along the western shore of the Black Sea is natural stuff. And it's around 8 becquerels. You can look it up to study yourself. 8 becquerels a cubic meter. And we have, in Canada, bizarrely, 7,000 becquerels a liter of tritium in our drinking water. Man-made stuff because they can't filter it out. So they figured they would come out and sneak that out there. We called them out in April and a number of times this year. They pulled it off their site. And so people need to talk about that. I need to see some kind of responses out there before I'm going to walk away from the subject and do something else. Production of tritium in fission and fusion reaction. See, tritium is everywhere. It's man-made, though. The other stuff is molecule tritium. We're talking about atomic tritium. We're talking about 3H. We're talking about stuff that is created only through the chain reaction, not by the sun. The stuff by the sun acts like it, and this stuff acts like the stuff that's created by the sun. It goes that same path when it enters your body, but it's not like the stuff that is created by the sun. They just label it that way because it acts that way. That's really truly what's going on. Production of tritium is massive. And there's all kinds of studies on how they're going to deal with all the releases. Because we went from 8 becquerels a cubic meter to 7 million a cubic meter. Not in the ocean, but in our drinking water. In the stuff we grow our food in, and the stuff we wash our clothing in. And then nobody better come out and try to explain it away because all these studies I'm showing you are sitting there ready to beat down any of their nonsense. Everything I'm showing you is arming you for the future when they try that. Everything I'm teaching you is about you being able to help everybody around you. You being able to be articulate and not being able to be bullied or misled or, if you choose to be able to change your life, you do with the data. Once you understand that it's a real issue. Okay, well then I can change this about my life or change that about my life. I can eat healthier. I got to try to find a better source of this or a better source of that. And everything's got contamination in it. You can't get away from it. It never stopped coming out of her. Out of Japan's melter reactors. But we have to try to look for a way forward. We have to find technologies to try to get it out of our water. Just because we can't do it now, does that mean we don't try? Look, we've done studies on every other aspect of it except how to get it out of our water. Oh no, can't do it. Then you're not trying hard enough. If you create it, you can deal with it. If you try. We produce 3 studies a minute. If we were to unleash that power, 4,500 peer-reviewed studies every day on water, and then the next day fund 4,500 peer-reviewed studies on how to get better food for everybody and how to plan our way forward and stop these reactors in Japan. We got to stop the reactors in Japan. Nothing is more important. Nothing really matters unless we stop the reactors in Japan and all the other reactors. We got to deal with it. Coal is better than this. Coal, I can live alongside of a coal plant all my life for 30 days. It's not going to hurt me. Terry, that's your woman, buddy. Tritium discharges in the atmosphere at the first and second blocks of the Leningrad atomic power plant. That plant has, right from the get-go, accident every month or every year. Major accidents. So, Finland, Norway, even Canada is a target from their releases. Massive releases. They said, oh no, we had a steam pipe break in one of the rooms, and it was contained, but the releases were obviously going right across the continent. It's not like it ever stopped coming out of there. We got no proof they done anything down there. Everybody ran away. Yeah? Yeah. And so, simple ways of tritium was incorporated into a mouse bone's marrow. They were able to figure that out right into your bone. So it's acting like americium, it's acting like plutonium, it's acting like strontium, right? You can go in the bathroom and yelling too loud to everybody. I'll tone it down. Determining the tritium content in the clad of the fuel rods. In the fuel rods. It permeates steel and metal and glass and surfaces. There's all kinds of studies on what kind of best surface to use when tritium is involved so you don't contaminate the whole environment because you can't contain it because you never even tried. You're not trying hard enough. You make a chain reaction, you bloody well contain tritium and everything else. But you can't because of the noble gases will detonate when you hit oxygen. Behavior of tritium in marine environment, uptake and distribution of tritiated water, tritiated organic compounds, unicellular, multicellular algae. Right, but you can't find much on it, right? $39.95. You can learn a little tiny bit. Seaweed and tritium. Not two words we should have together in the same sentence. Because this is about contaminants. These are the pre-Fukushima studies. Very important stuff. Yields of tritium fission during fission of nucleoids. Hi everybody. Hi Thomas. Hi Albert. It's okay, Terry. Hi Albert. I put your intro right there. Hi Albert. Just looking down. Candace. Say hi to everybody for a second. Let me get rid of that stream because we got two streams going on at one time. Off my game. That way we don't screw up the stream that's going out. Hopefully. Dina. Oh. Just got to say those words and I screw up the stream that's going out. Hang on a second, folks. I got it. I got it. 1, 2. There we go. Don't click shit, Dana. Okay. Let's get back to business. So what does the study show us? It shows us that 7,000 becquerels a liter, 7 million a cubic meter, is ludicrous. And that nobody raised the alarm. Nobody raised the alarm. Like, are you considering the words that I'm saying? Are you able to really wrap your mind around that they snuck out, this is the drinking water standard for Canada, they snuck out 7,000 becquerels. Never bothered explaining it all. They come out now and try to say, oh, that's natural, Dana. No, the studies that we look at show they're around 8 becquerels a cubic meter, not 7 million. Like we're looking at there, there's 1,000 liters in an 8 cubic meter. But Louis, let's keep going. We're running through them. How we doing here? 15. So another 10, 15 minutes. It's just a short stream, so I would at least get a scream out. Scream, screaming. Demon. Let's burn that to the side for a second. Yoink. Let's back it up. Back up the pony, Dana. Back up that trolley. Back it up. Go play with some pictures. Fukushima. March 11, 2011. Now, I got injured on March 11th, 2001, and put in a wheelchair in a hospital bed. Coincidence? I think not. Japan had a tsunami. It was an earthquake. It was unbelievable proportions. It ran through the country at 9,000 miles per hour. It was felt in Florida 30 minutes later. Think about that one. Japan to Florida in 30 minutes. I'll take a ticket on that ride. You're not going to try to surf that one, I can assure you. But I ran over there in 30 minutes. It shook Japan for 6 minutes. It was 1,000 times worse than Haiti. It was considered the G-forces of 2 and 3. You can't stand up past a 1. The ground will, you'll have to sit down, and they did all the way in Tokyo included, where there's many videos of people in Tokyo sitting down all over the place in the city at the one time, because that's what that does. It done that for 6 minutes. Pick your child up and shake him for 6 minutes. And when the cops arrest you, don't say I told you to do it, because you're crazy. That's child abuse, right? But if you were to shake your famous piece of furniture, your best countertop, or your best whatever you got in your house that you really treasure, like your china cabinet, go over and shake the china cabinet for 6 minutes. Here's my phone going creepy, Crane. That's you again, Terry, but I gotta swipe it. Go, yeah, I know my phone's doing that all morning, man. Maybe it's a snowstorm we're in. Okay, so the tsunami came through 20 minutes to 50 minutes later, depending on what part of the country you were in. It ran to the country. And that it took out the power plants, they detonated. It melted down. This is Unit 1. This is Unit 2. That's Unit 3. That's Unit 4. Hang on a second, I'm going to turn the volume down. Try outdoors. Go outdoors. Go through that door there, Terry. See if it works out there for you. That's Unit 4. They tore it all off. Did you lose it? Go try again. So they tore it all off. Snowstorm, car accidents all over the place. She's worried he might have had an accident, but the phone's not working. You know the scenario, so sorry, folks. Just trying to help me buddy out. And so they said it looked like that on the inside of it, but they tore everything off it. Dad was upstairs in that. That's why they tore it off. And they built this fable alongside of it to fool you. And so a lot of people, when they see that, they think that that is inside of that, right? They think that that is somehow inside of that. They don't realize it's like that. There is no fuel pull. The structure they're building there with cranes, you won't see people with torches and scaffolding and step ladders and 9/16-inch wrenches. No, it is all brought in by robotic cranes, and they drop it into place. And they're going to put a crane in there to reach into the broken piece. And if the broken piece looked like that and looked like that, why would you want to build something over it and drop a crane down through a roof like that? If it looked like that, why are they using that to try to pump water through that? And where's the evidence of water being pumped in there? Everything looks like it's nice and dry. You know why? Because they're gangsters. Yeah. Not your average gangster, no. These are gangsters. Real deal. Scary stuff. They're gangsters because they don't care what happens to that child. They don't care. They have no emotions. They don't even care if it's their own child. They don't care. They got no power through that country. They all melted down. They got 9 million bags just in the Fukushima prefecture, but there was no fallout, Dana. Yeah, but you got 9 million bags. No, Dana, you're full of conspiracy. Yeah, but you got 9 million bags. 9 million bags. Because of a couple of little old buildings. There's one of them. Right? Another building like that. Another building like that. And another building looks like that. And for those 4 little buildings, think about that one. For 4 little buildings, they filled up 9 million. Look at those bags, 9 million of them. Because of what 4 buildings done. Do you think you need 9 million 1-ton bags to fill up your houses in your communities? No. 4 houses? If I tore down 4 houses, do I need 9 million bags? Because just a couple of atoms is really bad for anywhere. It's really bad stuff. But like we're talking 4 buildings in just one little tiny area that we're talking about that they cleaned up. Over 10,000 piles. for 4 buildings. Over 9 million bags, 1-ton bags for 4 buildings. Do you get what I'm trying to say to you? How hard is it to wrap your mind around that 4 buildings that created a whole bunch of debt also created 9 million 1-ton bags? Wait a second, but that's only 4 buildings, Dana. That's kind of like crazy, isn't it, Dana? Yeah, you don't say. Do you get it yet? Do you get the implications? Why they got 9 million bags for 4 buildings? And why does a couple of days releases look like that? And how many more 9 million bags do you got to fill up to clean it all up? I would say somewhere in the order of 6 billion bags. If you were to clean up take all the topsoil off North America, at least, and Japan, and Vietnam, and the Philippines, and China, you've got a good chunk of it. So around 6 billion bags. 6 billion bags because... So you need 6 billion bags because 4 buildings, like that one there is number 2 of them, that's 3 of them, and that's 4 of them. Because of 4 buildings, we need 6 billion bags. Yeah, now you're getting it now, are you? Oh, now it makes some sense to you. Oh, I see. Well, now maybe you understand why it was 7,000 becquerels in a liter of water when a cubic meter, 1,000 liters, was only 8, is the issue of the day. So I'll come in and say hi to everybody. It's the end of the show for today. I'm burnt out. I just wanted to come out with a little stream and say hello to everybody. Let's bring everybody up. Hi, everyone. Here we go. Dana, you got to plug us in. Dana, you can't bring us up unless you plug us in. I could do that. Just give me a second. Hang on. Don't get your in a knicker. Okay, Dana, we got nothing. What did you do? I done nothing. I'm here. Hang on, I got it. Stop talking and start working like a doggy, Dana. There we go. Thomas Ackerman. Hi, Thomas. Syria. Hi, Kitty. Candace. Albert. Good night, everybody. Thanks for dropping by. Hugs for you and your loved ones, folks. Just a little good old kick in the teeth for the industry. How come we got 9 million bags from 4 buildings? How the hell did we get to that one? Who the frig said, hey, I got it. 9 million bags will clean up the mess. Hi, Illusion. Gil, Candace. I'm looking for anybody. I know nobody was expecting it. Terry Ann, Gabriel, Strontium. Hi, Jack. Did I miss anybody? Probably not, eh? Okay, there you go. Looks like I got everybody. Like you say, you only had a 10-minute, 9-minute warning, and then I went live. Terry didn't even know I was going live. And love you too, Thomas, and everybody else. Hugs for everybody. Thank you, everybody, for everything that you've done for Dana and the Hounds of Fukushima and everybody else on the planet. The one lesson you need to take away today is that 1 building, 2, here's 3, here's 4. 4 little buildings. You had to fill up 9 million bags, 1-ton bags. Okay, so there's more to the story than they're telling you. That's why we exist. Dana Durnford, the nuclear proctologist at livestream.com. 6 days a week, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Canada time most times. But if not, the stream will be there when I get around to it, and you can watch it at your own time. We do the live because, believe it or not, it's easier. Actually, I like saying hi to everybody. Good night, everyone. We'll see everyone tomorrow. Take care, folks.